Nearly time for a coffee. I can hear it coming. Boss lady gonna bring coffee. Yeah. Had homemade fish and chips tonight, and I didn't even film it. We just ate it. Nice bit of white fish, marinated in a bit of lemon, pinch of salt. 2 or 3 hours later, dry it on paper toweling, make some batter. I batter the fish. Actually, I put it in flour first, then batter, and then breadcrumbs. Quite different, actually. Should have filmed it to show you the process, but it was yum. Here comes the boss. Don't mention anything.
What? Hang on.
Thank you very much. Coffee. Yeah. Do you want your seat?
No, just now.
Oh, I'll just put the camera down on you.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why not? Cheeky bugger. All the footings are dug. I'm just doing a daily video, and I'll put out a weekly video instead of every day. Be boring. But yeah, the footings are all dug now, so steel will be going in. Bit of concrete. Oh look, it's Frankenfurter. Here are you, mate? JP's arrived.
Hey, JP.
In his stockings and leather gear. Yes, all the footings are in. Hello. Here comes those bloody kids on the bikes again. Let's put out the stringers.
Got him. Got him on video.
Yeah, you'd be a riff-raff for sure, mate. Definitely. I like that. He's really cool. So we got the little bugger on video.
Didn't quite get the number plate. I'll just wait because I can hear another one. Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Up for a second.
Let your chair now. Right.
No, just try. Well, if the other one comes down, I can sit here and video him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind kids having fun. But it's a bit dangerous, and there's a school just over here. Bit of a no-no. It's all right having a bit of fun, but what if you're going to clean up a few school kids?
And what will the coppers say? I'll send this to the coppers. Oh, but you didn't get the number plate. Didn't get a look at his face.
Well, when they reply like they said, okay, it's all right, we've just decided to put a wire across the road so we can decapitate the kid, but then the bike will be there for us to get the number plate.
I wouldn't even say that jokingly because people do that.
Yeah, he just needs to be grabbed by the nuts, twisted, and his bike taken away. And you think twice. You just have to run up the road going broom, broom. Yeah, so it's been quite warm here for the boys, and they're digging the footings by hand. I said, boys, have you heard of a backhoe? He said, yeah, we just can't get it up here this week.
Well, the other thing, where in the hell can they get it in there?
Oh no, you get a little bobcat through there, easy. Trench backhoe, sorry.
Yeah, but look at
Trench
all
backhoe.
the driveway's all full.
I know, they've done it arse about face.
Yeah, to the point that the couple of planks of wood have to sit out here because...
I think it's just a trail bike, JP, to answer your question.
You couldn't even get those bits of wood back in to close the gate because I watched
Is
it.
the gate open?
No, it's closed, but
Oh, right.
you had to leave those bits there.
Alright.
And it's fine, JP, kids going, I used to ride a trail bike. Go on the trail. Go have fun with your mates. Not a problem. Not on a road near a school. Doing a wheelie. I mean, yeah, school's not on now, but people walk their dogs now.
There's quite a few old fellas that walk their dogs. They'd never get across the road in time. They'd fill their diaper. Talking about diapers, what's been happening on YouTube? YouTube's a bit like watching the Circus La Freaks. G'day, Kiwi. We actually, and I can say this with truth, Kiwi, we had fish and chips. Fish and chips tonight.
Oh, you didn't film
Homemade. No, I didn't film it. I make my fish a bit different. It was a nice white fish, and I put it in flour, then I put it in batter, and then I put it in breadcrumbs. Man, does that turn out brilliant. You've been out of the loop, you've been working. Bloody hell, no work getting in the way of your entertainment. But I always soak my fish in a little bit of lemon juice for about an hour, and I add a bit of salt in the lemon juice. What happens is it sort of puts the flavour in and draws the moisture out at the same time. G'day, Jojo. Is this childproof room padded? No, we'll just actually pad you up, Jojo, so you can bounce off the walls. No problems. I remember years ago a mate of mine bought a Quacker 900. This is way back, probably talking late 70s. And he would always go to the, only had one stoplight in the town I lived in. He would go to that stoplight, and every time he got the green, he'd do a wheelie. Did that first day. Looked spectacular. Second day, he flipped it. Crushed his ribs, broke his arm. Pretty sure he dislocated his knee, and was off work for 4 months.
Did you tell JP what fish you used?
No, it's just bassa, just a white fish. I prefer catching my own. It will happen. I'll show you some fishing videos. Yeah, so progress. Good dry weather. The boys got into the footings today. The levels. Came inside and took a level off the old kitchen floor. Who's that? That's a big old fat bloke at the beach fishing. Got a decent sized pole, hasn't he? I'm sure they are now.
There's receipts. He does fish, okay? There's receipts.
I've got a really old photo of me holding a dewey.
Oh dear. We've become a bit cynical.
I think probably, and I've been to places, and I'll be honest with you, Australians and New Zealanders eat more fish and chips than anyone else. What's that hanging out of his pants? It's like a python. Hello, Lake Shadow. Pull up a chair, have a coffee. Had our granddaughter over today, and daughter-in-law, she's got a big belly on her. She's only a tiny little thing, but she's got this, looks like a basketball's been inserted. She's still got 4 months. 4 months to go. She'll be panting and sort of flat out in the last couple of weeks, I imagine. It'll be mainly belly and a little bit of her. Quite a few Aussies go to New Zealand, but a lot of them just do the snow. I mean, there's so much of New Zealand to see. I'll be honest, I like the south more than the north. But that's just my take on it. Where High Country lives, he lives in Is it Christchurch? No. Canterbury. He lives in Canterbury. And he's got the advantage of lowlands and highlands, hence his name. Hello, Dream. You're already in bed, not dark and all rugged up. Yeah, we got daylight. Time here is 17 minutes past 6 p.m.
Well, she's all rugged up, listening to you. Bedtime story.
Once upon a time, in a dream, there was a spider who weaved. See, I just fitted that in. Dream, weave. And he came down on the bed and she was comfortable. She couldn't see him. A bit like Miss, what's her name, with a tuffet. But yeah, he's got some good country up there to fish. Beautiful. Limited in what he catches, of course. Trout, more trout. My days of deep sea fishing are probably just about done. I used to do fishing charters. I used to take people out on fishing charters for many years. And sport to fish over here off of the reef. But you know, of all the fish I've caught, and I've caught just about every species you can imagine, the fish I think is the best fish to eat by far, this is my opinion, is whiting. I love whiting. You get breadcrumb, but man, I love it. There's something special about fishing.
See, Jojo?
Jojo has to go and service 2 BBWs. That's big black wrestlers. Oh, okay, fair enough. It will be fun to eat steak. I have a good steak at least once a month. And I have other steak, but you know, I had a good steak. $15, $20 slab. Don't mind that. Barramundi's okay. It's a bit flaky for me, barramundi. Just to catch them up in the territory. Where you catch all your barramundi, a lot of people go, oh, I'll get the big rigs and the boat. You don't need any of that stuff. You just go into delta land. Put your line right on the edge, because all the buggers are under the edge of the creeks. So the crocs, so you can sort of step back a bit. But that's where I've caught all my big barramundi, right underneath my feet. But big ones aren't that good. Probably around about 4 or 5 pound or 2.5 kilo, something like that. That reef shark around about 3 to 4 feet, that's the best. I was raised on the end of a cane pole. Yeah, I was going to say that's what fishing does to me. It's like this time of night, you know, just as the sun's going down, if you're on the lake or the edge of the ocean, got a little fire going. You got a feed guaranteed, you brought something with you, but you brought the fry pan, a little bit of oil, egg and breadcrumb.
Can you just spray there, please?
What are you going to do?
Spray some mozzie.
Oh. The wife's got fleas.
Shut up. Thanks.
That'll kill the buggers. Probably make me coffee taste a bit funny too.
No, I covered mine.
Barramundi. It's a estuary fish. A lot of people get confused. It's not freshwater. It's an estuary. We've got a fish in WA, what we call a golden-eye perch. If you size it up against a barramundi, it'd be just about the same. But yeah, a lot of barramundi sold in Australia though, JP, is not from Australia. Trust me. They've got barramundi farms in Thailand. But, you know, like I say, most fish, I've caught big fish, huge bastards to be honest with you. But the best fish, like if you get a cod about 6 or 7 pound, cod's beautiful. What we call jewfish is different than what they call jewfish in the eastern states. Their jewfish is the kingfish for us, and we don't eat it.
Can you pan around to the work area? Like missed the beginning.
I'll give you a bit of a sticky beat. Not going to see too much because it's a bit dark. But I'm doing a video at the end of the week. Kiwi, so I mean lake. Oh, look at that. Pretty rose. Oh look, there's another one. Purple rose. There's a bit of shit everywhere, so I'm not going to go too far out there. But all the footings have been put in. So a lot of Americans get confused. They say, what are you building, a sandcastle? What we do in Australia is we're lifting the level of this new pad to the height of the old house. So it just flows through at the same height. So footing will be going through there, bricks will be going up, that wall will be coming out. And then we're going to put, you can probably see they've just dug these trenches. They'll be back tomorrow to, form them up with form boards and stuff. And then all this will get levelled. See that back step there?
The plumbing's in.
All the plumbing's in, all the new plumbing. But you'll get a better idea. Probably in 2 or 3 days you'll get a better idea. What we do is we put concrete down, bricks go on top, come to that level of the back, so up about 600 mil. And then the slab goes down, you'll have concrete bar the patio area, because that'll be timber. And then you see the concrete slab go down, and then you see the rest of the bricks come up. So I won't show you too much more because there's so much shit out there sticking out of the ground. I don't want to cut myself. But that's where we're up to. But you'll see more in about the end of the week. I'll do a video showing what happened during the week. Here's some of the old plumbing. This stuff is 70 odd years old. Now these are some of the pavers we pulled up. Where we're going to use all these is down the side, all through there. Yeah, but if you look at the end of the week, I'll do a video and I'll show you. I mean, it's not point doing a video every day. If you see a video of a week's work, then you get to see in about a 5 or a 6 minute video what happened. An old muddy. Sounds like a catfish to me, is it? Not sure. It should look good. It's a slower process doing additions than it is at building a new home. Building a new home's pretty straightforward. With additions, you've got to match levels, brickwork courses. I'm not going to complicate. Mudcrab, yeah. I used to love getting them in Darwin.
I was wondering what she was talking about, muddy caught
Beautiful.
By the arm. Didn't quite understand that.
Let's be honest, the only thing worth eating of them is those big chunky claws. They're the best bits. We get a lot of blue manta crabs. Okay, legally it's got to be about 7 or 8 inches or something. But where I used to live in Mandurah, there's millions of them. In Geraldton North, where I lived for many years, there's lobsters, like cockroaches, everywhere. Yeah, no, I know what they're doing. Like a few of the boys tried to test me a couple of times and I explained that I've already built 2 houses. I'm just too old. I don't want to dig trenches. I don't want to climb up on the roofs. Pitch a roof.
But they won't let me help.
No.
Oh, ducks just flew over.
Oh, there's dinner tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, because I've been in the building trade, JP, I just know how long things will take. So, hello, Mel. Daylight broadcast today. Only because mainly the sun's staying up a bit longer, let's be honest. I was just saying how many crabs are down in Mandurah, blue mantas, they're like cockroaches. And I believe someone asked you to come to dinner on Sunday, but you can't make it, Mel.
No. By the way, just put it out there, I'll annoy everybody from now until Sunday. Seeds turn 60 on Sunday.
It's not true. It's just
He's
that
60 on Sunday.
38. She has no idea.
How do we stop the flying cockroaches getting into the house at night?
Well, we don't have any flying cockroaches.
Well, we do.
It's too hot
but
for them to fly here. They just walk along the ground.
We do, but rare.
We don't get many here.
We just have screens on our doors and windows that,
Yeah.
sometimes they sneak in under doors.
I haven't heard from Aussie Shooter for a while.
Oh yeah, Mel, have you heard from Ozzy?
Oh my God, you didn't say that, Mr. Suits. What's that mean? Say what? That I'm 36? We're going to the Basso. They do brilliant meals there. Yeah, we get two types here. We get the average cockroach, which you all know. And then we get the bush cockroach, which is a bit longer, but it has white all the way down the back, like pinstripes.
And then we get the German ones that march.
Get the what?
The German ones that march. I'm just kidding.
Do we?
Yes, we do occasionally get the German cockroaches, the little ones.
Oh, they're carry bugs. They're not cockroaches.
No, we...
Talking about the weird ones with the inverted shell.
No. I know they're different.
No worries, Skeevy. You're as old as you feel. Hello, kiddies. Kids and grandkids keep you young. That's a true saying. It does actually work.
I have to get my other socks on.
My granddaughter was a little nerd today. Like she only wanted me to pick her up and cuddle her. When her and daughter-in-law left, she gets in the car and the wife leans in to give her a kiss. She says no. So I had to kiss her, and then she just gave a high five to her. She's just playing games, you know what I mean? They're little buggers. Well, at least I made it to that number. That's the only relative thing about it. Yes, when I was born, my mother was still getting food coupons. It's a true story. Still rationing going on to the early 60s, believe it or not, in certain areas. You're only as old as the woman you feel. Well, they could vary from time to time then, couldn't it? Thank you very much, Dream. I'll shave my beard off. I look about 30. Little baby face. So I'll just leave the bugger on, eh? No point taunting all these women. Ooh, there goes a really old caravan from the 70s. Hello, Danny. Hello, how are you? Beautiful days in here. We got 33 yesterday and about 28 today, you reckon? About that.
Yep, he's 60 on Sunday. Sunday coming. Danny Seeds is 60 on Sunday. I've just got to tell everybody.
There's a fine asshole looking woman that's just walked in the room there. Hello. Hello, Adam. It's not my birthday yet. I could get by a meteor tomorrow. This close.
Say that.
This damn close. Mind if I get hit by one? Everyone else is knackered as well.
I'll make sure I film that again. Receipts.
What, the asteroid?
Yeah. If you get hit, I'll film it and I'll put it on YouTube.
Well, that'd be good for the insurance.
What insurance? Are you insured? You didn't tell me that.
Well, yeah, we get insurance. I'm in the house getting flattened.
I thought you meant you.
No, I've never insured myself. No point. I wouldn't be able to collect it, would I?
Yes, Kiwi, we keep it real. What you see with us is what you get. Proof.
No,
We're not
I-
living
I-
in someone else's house.
I just, and I'm being honest, I'll go into a couple of rooms to listen, and it's like I'm watching a replay. Mind you, the characters may change, like someone's bitching about someone else today, but it's the same script
What are the birthday
over and over.
birthday plans? I don't know. I might get him a stripper.
Yeah. And then the door opens, and there's JP and his speedos. Oh, you fuck! What? What sort of party's this?
Yes, you have, Mel.
Yes. But what we'll do one day is that we'll get a collaboration going, Mel, and we'll have you over, and we'll do a bit of a cook fest. You know, like make a few different dishes.
So what does that mean? Me and Mel's hubby have to do the dishes.
Sounds fair to me and Mel.
No.
We'll be doing all the hard work. There's no price on your availability, JP. We were talking about swimming pools the other day, and we're thinking, do we need the shallow end for JP or the deep end? I don't know whether you can swim. Bit of a quandary. We could put a big pool in, but I don't. The bigger the pool, the more maintenance. You know what I mean? I'm actually thinking about a big round pool.
No,
Talked
not
about-
round. I want it not
That's
a round.
off the table now. Round pool.
A different shape. I don't care if it's not a big one, just not a round. Then I might as well just put a fish pond in.
No, I'm thinking something about 7 metres or 8 metres by 3 or 4. We've got plenty of room down that corner. But that's only if the super chats keep coming in, all right, down here. Oh,
Yeah.
$5 million from JP. Tight bastard.
Oh, JP. Big lotto tomorrow night here.
You just die, Mr. Seeds, and JP takes over. Well, that would be okay if there's just one little problem. Mrs. JP. Let's be honest. We all fall off the perch at one given time. Just learn to grip a bit stronger. That's the secret.
Yeah, Mel, don't forget, get your lotto ticket tomorrow night.
100 million. Big ones. That's what's going on the offering tomorrow's lotto.
But Mrs. JP is very cute.
I've never seen her.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
Yeah.
When?
JP showed us a photo.
Oh, that's not saying somebody. That could have been some lady at the market in Thailand. You're just making it up. Adam says, is marijuana legal in Australia? No, but it will be shortly. And even if you got caught with it over the last 20 years, please say, just get rid of it. Don't let me catch you with that shit again. It's weird. No one ever really gets prosecuted for growing marijuana. Selling it, different story.
Oh, but if you've got a massive amount, well, yes.
What could you do for Mr. Seed's birthday, Danny? Well, I'd like to see a live cooking video, Danny. I'm not
Danny,
sure.
use your imagination. Put him up a wicked video.
Yeah, I mean, that's life, Kiwi. Generally, the bloke falls off the perch first, then the pool boy takes over. That's how it goes. We got a funny ad in Australia where this 60-year-old woman is talking to her son, and he's saying, "Oh, those Specsavers glasses must have cost you a fair bit." She says, "Yes, they're really good. They've got the what's name."
Oh, yeah, that's a good
And she
ad.
says to him, "Don't worry, I'm not spending the inheritance." And he goes, "Oh, good." She says, and the pool boy's out there cleaning the pool. She says, "I'm leaving it to Darren." That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I think the talk here is people being able to grow 4 plants. I'll be honest with you, you've got to grow more than 4 for cross-pollination, to be honest.
I thought the US was tough law with marijuana,
No,
Adam.
most states are legal now.
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Canada's legal.
Oh, well then, these shows that we get here, those, what is it, Bad Boys and all that, they're obviously old videos, because
marijuana's never been a big crime
someone's
anywhere.
got a bit of marijuana on them and they bloody handcuff and get you to the ground. On the ground.
You can grow some really big plants, JP, seriously. 7, 8 feet, if you really are clever. Good soil.
Hey, Lois.
Hey, Lois. How are you? Not legal in Texas yet. All right. It'll be a federal decision here. In other words, it won't be a state going legal. It'll be the whole country, and it looks like it won't be that far away. It's not an issue for me. I mean, the biggest problem in Australia is alcohol. Forget the marijuana. Drugs are a huge issue. Kids sucking on things they have no idea. It's a little tablet. Dying. Let them grow and smoke marijuana. I'll give you a little tip, Adam. Might seem a bit savage at the time, but when your plants are about 1.5 feet high, just do it with one of them next time, all right? Just bear with me. Cut it off right on the main stem and give it a bit extra room than your other plants, because what it will do is send up peripheral and you'll have a real big bushy plant. Just do it with one, because you only had 6 bottles by the sound of it. But you'll see what I mean. And to show you how that works with other plants, you do the same with chili or peppers. They actually, up they go. Centre cut's the way to go. But about 1.5 feet. Otherwise you let the plant get a little bit of oomph. And just the centre one, boom. Because you end up with all these other leaders that come up.
That's what he did at the 5th node.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about then. It depends. I'm an ex-prison officer, so I know a fair bit about marijuana. It depends how much you smoke and what sort of smoker you are. If you're a all-day toker, well, you ain't going to be working for starters, and you'll need more than 4 plants. Trust me. But if you're a recreational smoker, like come home from work, have a few, 4 to 6 plants would last you half a year, easy. They like a bit of fertiliser though, don't they, Adam? They're sort of an early feeder. In other words, as soon as you start seeing buds, you stop feeding it, no more. But it's no different than tomato bushes. If you just over-fertilise tomato bushes, you'll get monstrous bushes. The flowers will come up and fall off because the plant thinks it needs all this energy for growth. And that's one of the secrets in growing tomatoes or tomatoes, is not to fertilise them after you start seeing a bud form. Stop. Plant doesn't need any more. It now wants to produce fruit. Bit of blossom. Bottom. Did you lose most of the bottoms, or was it halfway up the bush as well? It's normally if you can catch it.
Hey, imagine if you could cross a marijuana plant with a tomato plant.
You can. You just, instead of using basil on your tomatoes, a little bit of the lovely leaf.
No, I mean if a marijuana plant grew tomatoes with the flower.
Yeah, calcium does. Another one that does it, mate, is milk. Half milk, half water in a spray bottle. That gets all the mosaic virus out of the system. But calcium works. Nothing worse than growing really nice tomatoes and the buggers either attacked by bugs or rot. I always use garlic chili spray. Now it does kill some, like the aphids don't like it, they choke to death. But all the other bugs come up to the tomato and go, "Whoa, what's that?" It just deters them. Works like a charm. But I only ever use even that homemade pesticide when I see the problem. I never ever took a photo of this, but a mate of mine driveway. He had probably about 1/4 inch like line down the side where they do the concrete, and he just let this thing grow. It was about 5 foot tall, full of tomatoes coming out of concrete.
Yeah, we've had that happen in the backyard.
Yeah, but this one was huge, the one he had. First year, very long time growing veggies. Well, if I can help you, let me know, mate. I mean, I'm even in the back corner. I can't do it now because there's mesh and shit and crap everywhere. But I'm going to put a half a dozen tomato bushes in. I just want to get something out of the season. I'll probably throw in a little bit of parsley.
I don't know if you'll get to grow anything.
Well, I'll just get 4 or 5 bags of good soil, fertilise it, and then I'll buy the seedlings. I normally grow from seed, but first year, very long time growing one garden of carrots and beetroot. Ooh, probably the wrong time of year to grow them, mate.
Well, it says it's thriving, but the other garden, the lettuce and celery, is struggling.
Yeah, you don't grow lettuce during the heat. Your beetroot will be woody, and your carrots will be spindly. Sorry, mate. You've got to imagine what's on your plate during summer. Tomatoes, lettuce.
Well, lettuce will grow, but yeah.
You need lettuce in half shade if you can get it where you live, mate. In other words, half the day sun, half the day shade. All your herbs are fine. See, it's not the time of the year for those types of... See, if you think about the time of the year, when would you use celery? Winter. Most root crops go well for about 8-9 months in Australia, but end of September through to January, it's not the time. Just grow your tomatoes, your chilies, basil, parsley. Root veggies aren't really for summer, mate. Yeah, they don't like really sandy. They want that root vegetables like something to dig into, like good loam. But you can create good soil. It took me about 3 years when I lived in a place called, 2 years in Augusta.
Yeah.
And the soil was pretty sandy, but by the time I'd finished, it was rich. It was black.
What Lois says is right. You can use large pots. We've done that. In Mandurah, we grew in pots in the back area.
Yeah, I didn't even... I had herbs, particularly basil, parsley, and other things in a big self-watering pot, which means it's got a little bottom tray on it that you fill up. And I had them inside, but they got the window. We had loads of windows in the back patio. It was sort of enclosed. And they got about 4 or 5 hours of sun. It's a bit of a myth, though it's true in one aspect. You don't need direct sunlight. Plants need light. There's different spectrums of light, if you know what I mean. But you can grow cucumber as well, JP. I'll get the missus to type it in, because this will help you, JP. Oh, she's typing in something else. I'm going to get her to type in a website called Gardenate. It's run by a Kiwi friend of mine, Michael, and his mum. I've known them for years. And they've got planting guides for all of the whole globe. They've done a brilliant job. Beans are good. Yeah, you can get your beans in. Things like... I really like the bushy beans, like Cherokee yellow beans, and in your area, I know real well, Hawkesbury beans grow really well. But let me just... can you type in Gardenate for me?
Yep.
All it is, take the word Gardenate when the missus puts it in, put it in Google, and it'll come up with a planting guide.
It's all one word, isn't it?
Just one word, yep. Garden.
Yeah.
8, A-T-E on the end. Yeah, you get some real cold weather during winter up there, don't you, Adam? In Maine. Woo. Gardenate. Just put that into a Google search. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It will not only tell you how to grow them, JP, it'll tell you what to plant and when. And it's a pretty good guide. But yeah, things like winter time, you start thinking spinach, beetroot, carrots, all the root crops, parsnips, rutabagas, we call them turnips here, but No worries, JP, but just get that name Gardenate, and you're in a temperate zone in Australia, so you need the little bar that you can click on. It's got all the zones of the US in there as well. High temp this summer was 91. Really? It's just the end of winter here and we had 94. That's the big difference, Adam.
Hey,
Electric domestic. Thank you very much. It's not yet, but it's a couple of days. But yeah, just if you get that website, you'll see what I'm saying, JP. It'll save you a lot of pain and heartache. But tomatoes, peppers, chilies, cucumbers, all the herbs you can imagine, they love this time of the year. And don't be frightened to buy sign Dynamic Lifter. Yes, it stinks, but it's gold. And there's no real failures in the garden. There's just more compost. Something doesn't work out, put it on the compost pile. Dynamic Lifter is pelletized organic chicken poop. Good stuff. In other words, about 2-year-old chook poop. And they add a few minerals and different other bits and pieces in there, and then they pelletize it. And you can flood your garden with it. I just give it a bit of a raking over the top, and you water it. And probably for the first 2 weeks, it stinks. Yes. Man, there's a good stuff though. It actually decomposes, not only releases the nutrients, but you don't have to feed your plants then on a 2-weekly basis for certain things, because that Dynamic Lifter slow releases for about 6 months. Yep, no, we're going to have a good time. Family's coming together, it's good. Yes, you're temperate. You're basically the warmer side of temperate, but you are temperate. Even though it gets cold, there's about 2 months of the year where you live that it's pretty tough growing stuff. Normally July and August. Oh, I've got to tell you, Adam, some of the best fertiliser is old fish heads, guts, seaweed. And I don't do it anymore, I used to trench. In other words, this year I got all my crops growing on this side in the upper trench, and then there's the below trench. At the end of the season, I'd knock all the shit off and put that in the trench, then put in Dynamic Lifter, fish heads, seaweed. Then I'd push that trench over on top. So now that becomes the growing trench on top. See what I'm saying? So I'd rotate my garden each year doing that. No, the beetroot will thrive, but you're talking about you've got fairly climate weather is about 28s, 26s at the moment, so not a problem. But what will happen, it will go to seed. You'll see a big shoot come up in the middle. All root vegetables will do that when the heat comes in. I'm not knocking you, JP, I'm just saying I know what's going to happen.
Oh, Mel, yuck.
I'll get a garden properly going next year.
And he'll record it, Adam.
Yeah, I'll show you.
You could always...
I'm not the wizard of gardening. I've just done it for about 40 odd years and I love it. I'll sit out in my garden in a little chair watching my tomatoes, capsicum, chilies. Oh, there's a bug. Garlic and chili spray. Get off there, you little mongrel.
Isn't there a picture of your garden on your YouTube homepage?
Never done. Actually, there is one video that I did about organic pesticide. So if one of you want to go to YouTube page and type in the bar Seeds to Freedom organic pesticide, you'll see a very little garden I had in Augusta in Western Australia, way down south. That'll give you a bit of an idea of how I like to grow. Yeah, there is no failures, JP. It's just a learning curve. That website you would have already seen how much. There's so much you can plant now. In September and October in Australia, it's big planting season. In fact, in August, you should have been planting like pumpkins and squashes and things like that. They like an early start because they're a slow process. And another thing, when you buy compost in bags, right? It's good stuff, don't get me wrong. You put that across your garden, it looks really cool. It's actually good nutrient-wise for 1 year. It has nothing left in it after 1 year. A lot of people say, I just lift it around and turn it around a bit and it's good for years. No, it's not. There are nutrients in compost that leach down through the soil, and then basically what you've got is just a ground cover of what was left. So each year you add more compost. More if you can. I might even run a competition. Probably not this year. Next year I'll run a competition for the best tomatoes. If anyone's here that grows tomatoes, they know what I'm saying. You take a great deal of pride in them. I grow some tomatoes at about 1 kilo. Massive buggers. Might only be 3 or 4 on the bush, and I'm probably tying them up with a bit of this and a bit of that, make sure that they get a bit of assistance. But I like things like Brandywine, Ox Heart. There's heaps of different heirlooms. Orgasmic Pussyside. Yeah, well, you don't want to use that, Kiwi, because you get nothing. Tomatoes don't like a lot of fertiliser. They don't mind the soil being rich when they're planted. But you don't, like I say, as soon as you see a flower, you stop fertilising. Because if you don't, you just get heaps of growth and the flowers will fall off. But it's really enjoyable to go down and pull out your dinner out of the backyard. I've done that for decades. It's just normal for me. Go and get some eggs out of the chicken, pull some potatoes up, carrots, bits and pieces. Generally, a lot of splitting in vegetable garden is to overwatering. It's like when people have seedlings, the biggest killer. They'll say, I grew some seedlings and they died. I said, what was the watering process? And I said, I'll give them a good flood every night. No. Plants need moist, not flood. So you can kill your garden with kindness. You're thinking it's dry. If you're not sure, stick your finger in the soil. Oh, that's a bit damp. It really is the biggest killer, particularly people who buy seedlings from garden centres, and then they come home and flood them for a week, and then the plant goes, oh, and they say, I don't know what killed them. And I'm saying, you did. Moist. Those little hand sprayers, just that's it, no more. A lot of even fruit will split. I'll give you a good example is tomatoes. If you overwater tomatoes, they split. People say, I had Butte tomatoes and they're looking really good, and then they split. Well, it wasn't a bug, it wasn't lightning, it was the fact that you put too much water into them. When you see the flush on a tomato, on the bottom they're right from the bottom up. When you see a flush on a tomato, stop watering for a couple of days. What the plant thinks is, I better hurry up here, and it draws as much moisture as it can to fill that fruit without splitting. The plant knows what it's doing, but if you overwater, the plant will keep sucking that damn water up. I like cherry tomato and grape tomatoes for one reason, is at the end of the season, when everything else is gone and died, the buggers are still growing. Yeah, stick your finger in the soil, JP. It's grandfather said, if you're not sure, stick your bloody finger in. Wiggle it around. Oh, it's a bit wet. Don't water it. Down to your second knuckle, all right? That's your first little knuckle, little bugger. That one, where it bends in the middle. Put it into the soil and pull it up and go, well, that's plenty moist. That must be a record. They're pretty hard to kill. But basil, yeah. Just I mean, during the real heat in Australia, I will specifically water certain plants, but generally every second day is fine. And the biggest mistake people make is putting bloody sprinklers in, JP. Don't put sprinklers in. Don't do that. Hand water the soil, not the plant. That's probably the biggest tip I can give people growing gardens for their first time. Unless you've got a retic system on the ground, you have to water. Don't put sprinkler on. In the middle of summer, when you've got water on top of a leaf, it's like a magnifying glass. Water in the morning or very late at night in summer. If you water in the middle of the day, you're going to kill your plants. Yeah, I've grown plants indoors that have been facing, for us, a southern window during winter. You can't stop dill. My daughter-in-law loves dill.
Oh.
She said, "How many seeds do I need?" She said, "You only need one." She said,
like
"I'll take 50." So she took 50. She had like a bush. And I said, "There's only so much dill you can eat."
That's not straight coke, by the way.
Oh, the wife has given me a JD.
We're sharing. I just felt like a drink.
That's a fine number, that 7. Yeah, it is. Grows like a weed. Things that you've got to be aware, like if you like sweet potato, and there's no harm in growing sweet potato, but do it in a container. And mint, just a little tip here, don't stick mint in your garden. So all the little roots go out.
Poor Electric.
And then you have 5 billion bushes of mint.
That's alright, Electric. I grew bonsai carrots. When we were...
It was funny. It was in Augusta. She said, "I want to grow some of these purple carrots." They were cosmics.
Because
I said, "All
purple's
right."
my colour.
And I said, "That's not the best place to do it." She said, "Oh, it gets a bit of light." They're the smallest carrots after 4 months I've ever seen.
Yep, I grew bonsai carrots.
I think they were for hobbits.
Well, make sure your mint is in a pot.
Yeah, mint is nice, but let's be honest, how much mint do we use? Not much. And if you haven't got a lot of space, don't grow potatoes. They're cheap enough anyway. Onions, don't grow those. You know, the stuff that... I know where JP lives. He can go buy 10 kilo of spuds for about $5.
Oh, we've got...
£25 for $5.
We've got spud shed here that give them away.
Yeah, they give them away, yeah. Onions, 10 kilo bag, probably $4. So you don't need to grow onions and potatoes, unless you want specific onions, like Spanish onions, or you want shallots or things like that. Yeah, her garden had carrots that big. My garden had carrots about that big.
I planted them at the right time.
You planted them at the same time I did.
It just, I don't know, they just ended up bonsai.
But fresh food from your garden's magnificent. With your chili bushes, you don't need neat rows. You know, when people go, "Oh, nice one there and another one there." Mate, just stack it in. Because what happens is the plant works it out. If there are 4 plants in one area and one's in the middle, the bigger ones grow and that one doesn't grow. These get bigger and that one dies. The plants figure it out.
Just do it, Adam. And if they fail, just video it, and I won't feel so bad.
I'll give you a tip for most backyard gardens. Some of the easy ones to grow carrot-wise are called Amsterdam. They're like a smaller carrot, but they've got a fairly thick top on and they taper down quite quickly. They're tough.
Yeah, they're alright, JP.
JP, when you plant, in those tubs in particular, wherever the sun hits them, all right, so this is where the sun's coming over the plants. What you must do is stick the smaller plants, like, you know, when a cabbage grows, it's only that big, or chili bush grows, it's about 3 feet, 4 feet high. So what I'm trying to say is grow them from the smallest to the biggest at the back. That way they get all an even spread of sunlight. If you have bigger ones at the front and little ones at the back, the little ones will struggle due to lack of sunlight. But don't forget dynamic lifter, JP. Your wife will scream at you because it stinks, but it works good. Give you an idea how much dynamic lifter I would use. I bought a 20 kilo bag and used it in a 20 by 30 foot area. So not a big area, and I raked it all in. Actually, the funny thing, next door to me at the time was a 94-year-old lady,
Yeah.
94. She had a garden, massive garden. She loved gardening. She was 94. And when she put the dynamic lifter down, she leaned over and said, "That smells brilliant."
Yeah.
She had no problem.
You better have a bit more because I'm drinking it all.
Yeah, but it's a great thing to get into. And just the old tip, if you like garlic, you plant it in the shortest day of the year and you harvest it on the longest day of the year. It works. Sounds good, mate. Sound like you've got a good growing base. But like I say, if you're going to have like chili bushes, you know, they will grow 3 to 4 feet high, sometimes bigger. My banana chilies grew 6 feet tall. But then if you've got a smaller plant, you know, put the bigger ones behind. Don't be frightened of cramming in your garden. In
Jay-
between bushes, put a bit of parsley, you know, a bit of whatever herb you like, thyme.
JP could sponsor us to come over and help him with his garden for a week.
It's pretty expensive sponsorship. You could buy groceries for 10 years. That's all right, mate. Like I say, that website's going to help you, really. But because you've got really good soil and a good manure, initially you won't need any compost. Compost is put in to add nutrients and keep and retain moisture. But what you've just said, you're not going to have any problem retaining moisture.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, JP. We can use FaceTime. You can show us the garden.
Yeah, you could do that. But Gardenate's going to save you. You're going to see things and thinking, oh, right.
Yes, Gardenate. Yes.
So I know the person that started that and his mother. And they've done it through love.
Kiwi. Let me finish it.
Well, just imagine if you could grow them,
Finish it.
kiwi. What are you growing this year, kiwi? Or a couple of perts. Nice little perts growing in the back there. Nice row of bazookas over here. Are you on the cans, bro? I'm sharing a can of...
No, he's talking to Kiwi.
Oh, was he? All right.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about that. Maybe he's talking on the toilet. I don't know. I love gardening. I always grow only what I'm going to eat. In other words, with our seed business over the years, people would say, oh, I'll get all these and I'll get that. I said, well, what do you normally eat? I'd actually cut my sale down to next to nothing because they end up buying 7 to 10 different types of veggies because that's all you eat. The studies have been done. The results are in. 7 to 10 vegetables is normal for a person. So if you're growing 50 types of vegetables and you don't eat them, what's the point of growing them? Absolutely, Kevin. That's how I was brought up. Leftovers in my house are now just preparations for another meal. Our chickens, when we get them, probably won't
No.
like me too much.
No.
Well, I'm not going to eat them.
Oh.
I find that the chickens get leftovers in the house, even with just 2 people, is more than enough for 3 or 4 chickens, by far. No problem. We're not going to be on for much longer, JP. Good to catch up with you. Keep in touch with your garden. You know I'm interested.
JP.
Do a couple of videos. You'd be surprised. And even though it takes time to produce your food, you'll really appreciate it. "10 minutes a day for even a good sized garden is more than enough. After you've done all the initial work, 10 minutes is plenty. And if you want to look at my channel, JP, look for that organic pesticide. Type in Seeds to Freedom organic pesticide. You'll see how I make it, and it's really easy. Someone's watching dogs eat. Oh, that could be entertainment for some people. Yeah, I actually, whilst I'm cooking, I'm thinking I'll actually cook more potatoes because I know what I'm going to do with them tomorrow. And I'll do a little bit extra of the veg. And so the wife would come and say, "That's too much." I said, "I know, but that's not just for today." One of the simplest things to make a meal out of, after you look in the fridge, you think, leftover broccoli, potatoes, a bit of onion, a bit of garlic. All right, I'll tell you what I do. Throw it all in the fry pan with a bit of butter. Then get 3 eggs and whip them around, put it over the top, lower the heat down, cook about half an hour on the stove, about 10 minutes under the grill. Beautiful. Right, Danny, nice to catch up with you.
See you, Danny. Is that our Elvis?
I don't know. I presume it's the one that's adored by people, not scorned.
Yeah.
I love that video you did, Keeping. I've got quite a few on my channel about thunder and lightning. If you haven't seen Keeping It Cool's video, I think it's called Night Lights or something like that, off memory. Brilliant. Thunderstorm, lightning. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. We get the rare thunderstorm, so I always try and film that, but it's rare. Hello, Monchichi, my wood-turning friend. Good stuff he makes. I just thought Monchichi, when I first met him, was just a funny bugger, but he has talents. And some of the timber he comes across, he must search all far and wide for it, because it wouldn't just fall in his lap. I used to do wood cutting as a younger fella, make money out of it, selling bags of timber. It was from an area that had been, you know how in the old days they get 2 big old tractors and roll big chains and stone walls and clear land like that? Well, they did this in a place called Northampton, north of where I used to live. And it had been done in the 1930s. So this is like the 1980s, I would go up there. And I had a soft drink franchise, and the deal was I'd drop off a couple of cases of soft drink, whatever this old fella, Mr. Williams was his name. And he said, "That's good, you go for it, get whatever you like." And I come across all these different timbers, Monchichi, sandalwood, hardwoods, oaks, and I just chop them into, slab sizes to sell to people in bags. And I had this whole fella, he was ordering 20 bags a week. He said, "Mate, you must burn a lot." He said, "I don't burn any of it." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Come out the back and I'll show you," because I used to drop off the bags in his driveway. He was a wood turner. He said, "This stuff is brilliant." He said, "How long are you doing it for?" I said, "I'll probably doing it for another 3 or 4 months. It's just a second job for me." And he said, "Well," there's a pussycat over there.
Where?
Yeah. Anyway, he said, "Can you give me another 50 bags before you finish the season?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And he turned out some brilliant stuff. But this, like I say, this was aged hardwood. When they felled it, a lot of them had the roots come out and then they'd be on angles, so they're off the ground. And a lot of my job was made easy because I just... But cutting into sandalwood, that was always... I love that.
Sandalwood, anything.
You get the chainsaw and you go...
Nice.
And you get all this... Beautiful.
Sandalwood smells lovely.
Coffee refill. $103. Oh, your wood will be drying anyway. A lot of your timber's very old anyway, I can tell. We have a wood, I don't know if you'll ever get it, we have what we call Jarrah, which is a Jarrah, and it's a hardwood. It's really old trees, very dark and grains in it. And occasionally you come across, and you get it with the different timbers, you know what I'm talking about, Monchichi. You have what we call a tiger wood. It's speckled, dark and lightened. And some of the furniture I've seen made out of that stuff, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But you get the tiger type effect in different hardwoods, but this one with Jarrah fetches a fortune. Wife's drunken most of the can, but I've got the little dregs down the bottom.
I have shared it with you.
Yeah, you took the top 2/3 off and left me the bottom bit. It's got all the good stuff in, isn't it? Warming up. It was 33 yesterday, which is about 92, 93. It was about 28 today, so
it's beautiful.
nice. Beautiful weather. Best time of the year here in Australia, where we live in particular, is virtually middle of September to about November. Then it gets really hot. And then May, April, May, they're beaut months in Australia. Yeah, Steve Smith's going all right, isn't he? Got better figures than Bradman at the moment. Mesquite, cedar, and oak. Yeah, but you can buy hardwood from different countries. It's just a pain in the arse getting it through customs. It's the same in the US as it is in Australia. They go, oh, I don't know.
There, we can't even bring it. Can't even bring you any next year, Monchichi. Take this whole big tree through customs for Monchichi
Yeah.
of sandalwood or Jarrah.
Some of the woods, I used to work in a timber yard as a tallyman when I was about 19. And we'd get different imported timbers come in. One that, it was always a good timber structurally, but it was very boring. It was called Meranti, which is a very straight grain timber. Very straight. Never seen any timber as straight as that. And it was used for furniture building and all that, sort of a hard, semi-hardwood. Well, in Australia, when the ships come in, they have to pay for the pesticide boys to go on board before they dock. Otherwise, they're taken out by a ferry. They go all through the hull.
Yeah, because of woodworm. Oh, comes the 55.
Comes the old bus. Anyone on board?
One.
He could be a ghost.
Yeah.
But I bored you enough, and we're probably going to go inside and go to bed. All that exciting stuff. I'm sure there's someone starting up a hangout accusing people of things they didn't do and attacking everyone. If you want to go to them, they're on. The drama channels will be kicking in shortly, I'm sure. But I do appreciate you being here. I love the discussion about veggies, timber, just general discussion. It's always good catching up with people that just want to have a chat instead of, want to take blood from someone.
It's true, Monchichi. Wood is expensive.
Actually, we're putting in Jarrah floorboards through the house. They're probably about 6 and a bit inches wide, bit wider, maybe 7 inches by about an inch. And they're going through as floorboards, following from the old house into the new section. And just an area of about 10 by 5, 50, 60, about 70 square metres. So just over 200 square foot of this timber is worth about 15 grand. Beautiful stuff though. It is stunning. And you pay for what you get. But you'll see that a lot later on. We're not up to the flooring stage yet. Have a good day if you're just waking up. Have a good night if you're going to bed. And so from the cute one.
Oh. Love yous. Night.
Yeah, I just like you blokes. Don't push it. Have a good one. Bye.